a rank failure in the Inter-Dominion after a stellar season. On Friday night, in fact, with his second place, he earned more points on one night than he did all throughout last year's series. Great start for Harry Martin, who wasn't in the sulky and he won't be again tonight. The trainer of the great horse speaks to Adam Hamilton.
Harry Martin, Sam, continues his unfamiliar role of watching Double Identity from the grandstand. Must have been a little anxious on night one because there was a pest on his inside that shoved him out on the home turn. It didn't help his chances.
No, it didn't, Adam, but we got points, and that's the main thing. That's what we've got to chase, the points to be in the final.
Something you didn't know about at the start of last year's series, was it?
Tell me about it.
No, I won't remind you too much about that. Now, Barrier won tonight. I would say this has been the biggest talking point of all of these heats tonight. Can he hold up? It's a while since he's shown genuine gate speed.
Oh, we'll try and hold up, Adam, but if he doesn't have to lead to win. As long as he can get away from the fence, he'll... The way they're running times, they're going to be running, so it won't hurt him not to be in front.
Now, a few people thought on night one that he didn't look overly comfortable on the track. Kim Prentice, of course, is your stand-in driver, was very quick to jump to the horse's defence and say that was absolute rubbish. How did you think he looked from the stand?
He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. He'll be good.
No worries on this track?
No worries about the track.
All right, and we know he gets on his knee, but it's not a problem?
The track's nice and firm, Adam, and that helps him, so he won't worry about the track.
All right, so as far as leading, though, goes tonight, you know his gate speed better than most. What's your gut feeling?
He's got good gate speed, but it's not always easy to lead from one. I don't care where it is. It just always seems to be harder to lead from one.
Didn't show a lot from one at Ballarat?
No, he didn't, but... We'll just keep our fingers crossed, eh?
What about your old rival, Joe Fess? He put his hand up tonight. He says he's a factor in the series.
Oh, he went good, didn't he? Look, when he's right, he's a great horse. Yeah. Like, there's, you know, him, Sokiola, Double Identity, the Falcon faking it. You know, this is shaping up to be a real good lot. Yeah. And Barry Purden's horses, yeah, very good lot.
Certainly is, but a lot of people would love to have your horse, Double Identity. You're returning to the sulky Friday night?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Come on, we need to know. First for all of the Sky fans out there.
We'll wait till the wife gets over tomorrow or the next day and we'll let them know then.
CAB Sports Bet's got you $1.10 if that means anything. Harry, good luck tonight.
The family want me to drive, but, you know, Kim's doing a good job, so we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, well, tell us first, please.
I will do that.
Good on you. All the best, Harry.
Thanks, Adam.
There he is, one of the great characters of the sport. He's got a lovely horse too, Harry Martin, trainer, and who knows, maybe driver of Double Identity on Friday night.
Adam, you're just the fourth person he's promised to give the story to first, but nonetheless, it could still be you. I'd say he'd probably drive Double Identity, but who knows? You've got Darren Hancock with you. I have to say I was critical of his drive on night one, but more than happy with how he performed tonight.
Well, he's with me. I've got to pass that on, Sam. Sam said he was critical of your drive on night one for not being more aggressive, but he said you're back in the good books.
Yeah, I had to come good. I drew good tonight, and it just didn't suit me the first night. But no, the horse went terrific. Actually, he could have went around again.
Well, they've gone 1:55.9. Does it feel like you're going that fast out there?
Actually, not on him. It seemed like we were going about 2 minutes, but it's fast. I don't know why, but you know, the time's there. They run it, but and you know, he went down the line easy. You know, it was funny.
Darren, he's run some terrific races in his life. He's won a number of Grand Circuit events. I don't know that he's ever gone better than that because. And the reason I say it is I'm not sure he's ever travelled better in the run.
Yeah, you're probably right, Adam. Probably Ballarat Cup night when he won there, he done it.
He did win by half a straight, beating Double Identity, OK.
He did do it good there. But when he leads, I'd like to see his record. I don't think he's been beat too many times when he leads, and he has to be up there rolling, and that's what he done. He puts the pedal down and sort of keeps rolling along, and you don't know you're doing it.
Graham Watts' drive was a pearler in the last. Yours was a brilliant tactical drive because at no stage did you allow the Falcon Strike to get a breather when he was trying to work around or when he sat outside of you.
Nah, that's right, Adam. Sort of my horse likes to roll, and it was good actually when I seen him come, and then I put the power down, and yeah, my horse was going along easy enough to keep him happy, and sort of made him work pretty hard to get there. So, but on the top corner, I was pretty confident actually, and down the line, he actually would have went probably half a lap. You know, he was going good. Yeah,
interesting you say on the top corner you were pretty confident. Scott Phelan said to me he was pretty confident on Napoleon, and then the Falcon Strike dive bombed him. He actually never looked like catching you tonight, though.
No, on the line I was sort of pulling away, but yeah, actually I raced him in the Cup here, and I thought I had him beat in that other race, and he put one on his bum, and he picked me up in 2 strides, and I had a good run that night, so he's a pretty good horse when he's right.
He's definitely the one for you to beat in the final.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But, you know, there's a few other horses there who'll be around. You've got Double Identity, you know, don't worry, he'll be there. And, you know, there's a couple
Mr.
of...
DG.
Yeah, you know, you can't leave any of them out. It's grand final.
Certainly true. That vindicates the gamble of yours to miss the Victoria Carnival and give him time to prepare over here off a fairly light preparation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we sort of... There was only the stand and start, Hunter Cup, and he's probably not the best from a stand, so I decided just to bring him over here and let him climatise, and which has worked out good. You know, he's settled in, and he's probably going the best he's gone.
Who do you have to thank for that? Because obviously you can't spend all your time here.
Nah, Dad's done all the work with him. Actually, I hopped on him, jogged him 2 days ago, the first time in...
Glory seeker.
Yeah, 6 weeks. I haven't jogged him, and I hopped on and jogged him, but he felt terrific, actually. I said to Dad, if he draws good, he'll go really good.
Take a bow, Dick Hancock. From here, we've got to be honest and say barrier draws are everything. Bad draws and you just won't be a serious factor.
Well, that's right. It's a half-mile track, and like for 12 runners out there, it's pretty hard, as you see tonight. You know, you've got to be up there at the 2, and good draws helps anywhere. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Certainly does. Thanks for joining us, mate. Go and enjoy your time with the horse, and good luck with the draws for Friday and the following week.
Thanks, Adam. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Darren Hancock, Sam, pretty relaxed and obviously chuffed as well. He did raise a good point about that Ballarat Cup win of Joe Fest, but can we say it was his second best run of his career then?
Yeah, it was very good, whichever way you want to look at it, Adam. He is a wonderful stayer, and he just does not fire unless he is leading or outside of the leader. It's as simple as that, and he's been a wonderful campaigner right from when he was 2. When Bruce Harpley was the man in the sulky back then, and he has always proved to be a very competitive horse. Came through a wonderful crop that included Smooth Satin, of course, and the current leader on the Grand Circuit table, Double Identity. He was equal winner last year of the Grand Circuit with young Rufus. Adam,
and wind the clock back about 12 months ago, and one of the finds of the Christchurch series was a combination, young trainer Neil Wardle and his horse Torpedo. Haven't seen much of you guys in the 12 months in between, but you're back in Perth having another go?
Yeah, well, he had a few months off after New Zealand, and then by the time you get him back, it sort of 6 and 7 months goes by, and then he had another little mishap. But, you know, he's up and ready, and the Inter-Dominion was on in Perth, so we decided to take the punt again. Good, encouraging run first up, and you didn't have to do too much work. Tonight, it's a different story. You're drawn wide. Halfway through an Inter-Dominion series, you've got to take the gloves off. Yeah, definitely. Last week was just a little taste of getting the cobwebs out. 155-1 for the first crack. Just a lazy 55-1. Yeah, first crack in 4 months. So it definitely got the cobwebs out. But tonight, yeah, we're definitely going for the top or in that direction anyway. And the gloves are definitely off, as you say. And you know they're going to have to really work hard to try and get around him. Your chances will depend on heading off Double Identity. He's drawn 1, you're out wide. Everybody says being out wide will be a little bit of a plus to you. Yeah, well, it's a plus from here, but out on the track it could be a different scenario, obviously. But, you know, you've just got to take the opportunities, and you've got to put yourself in the position to take the opportunities. I suppose the only way to predict the future is to go out there and create it. So, you know, we're going forward, and the horse is fit and well, so... Yeah, Joe Fest breathed a bit of new life into the series with his win. Yeah, it's good to see the old bloke get back on track. He's a lovely old horse, and you know he deserves his place in the series and in the final. And on his better form, he deserves a real crack at the title. Yeah, Torpedo deserves his spot as well. Good luck tonight. It's make or break time. Yeah, we'll be having a definite dig anyway. Good on you. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, mate. Neil Wardle joining us. He's the trainer of Torpedo in our next Inter-Dominion heat.
Certainly heartening, Adam, as you mentioned earlier, to see so many young guys part of this Inter-Dominion series, the obvious ones, Gary Hall Jr., Mark Reed and Blake Fitzpatrick. I guess as much as horses coming through the classes are concerned, it's good to see the young talent also doing the same.
Yes, certainly looking forward to so many different factors of this series. We just had Brad Wardle, one of the connections of Torpedo Wanda Pass, was just wishing him good luck from the whole Sky team. They've been a breath of fresh air on the Grand Circuit for the past 12 months. And the last word from the Torpedo team is handlebars down. They are going to go guns blazing out of barrier 6 in the hope they can cross Double Identity. And if they get to the front, I think they'd love to take a sit on Mr. DG if he was within striking distance. So there's some late mail on him. And number 7, Lombe La Fifi. Haven't been able to get the last word from Chris Elford, but earlier on I thought he made it pretty clear to us that it was go for broke time as well after she made that mistake on night 1. And on her Victorian gate speed, according to Chris Elford, he thinks he will be able to get across Double Identity. So word of warning with this favourite. I think he's vulnerable and very short at $2 at the moment. I'm tipping number 9, Mr. DG. I thought that he was almost lost in the hysteria surrounding the Falcon Strike on night 1. Let's not forget Mr. DG did a similar amount of work to the Falcon Strike. Yes, he ran a second slower, but the Falcon Strike had to call on all reserves. And to me, Mr. DG hit the line with a fair bit in the tank. If he can sort of wander across from the wide draw, I think the $4 or so that's showing at the moment is wonderful value. I would have thought about $3.50 or so for Mr. DG was the right price, and there has been good support for him at around the $4 mark in the ring. So Mr. DG for mine, representing value at the moment. For second, well, I mean, it's honest, if Double Identity leads, this really should be his race. My concern is he hasn't shown gate speed for some considerable time, and Barrier 1 may not be ideal for him. I keep going back to that Ballarat Cup and his performance from Barrier 1. He didn't show a lot of gate speed at all. He's my second selection. Third, only if she can get to the pegs, number 7, Lombo La Fifi, and from there we go out to number 11, Napoleon. So my selections here on top 9, ahead of 1, 7 and 11. How are we going for time commitment, Sam? Can we grab Graham Watts, who's standing by, for a quick word?
Yes, it looks like we've got a few seconds up our sleeve. I'll just go through the current standings for the horses engaged in this upcoming heat, the 7th for the series. Double Identity on 13, Digger of Fortune 4, A Day's Pay 5, Kijari 6, Ivory Trader 5, Torpedo 7, Lombo Lafifi 4, Countryways 11, Mr. DG 16, Golden Resonator 7, Napoleon 13, and Maggie Deer is on 5. That's for the horses engaged in this upcoming heat, Heat 7 of the Championship, and where they stand. Adam, I thought it was going to be pretty tough to displace Joe Fess at the top of the highlights reel, but I think Graham Watson to Canorama did. Unfortunately, we've just lost Adam. We will endeavour to get back to him. He has Graham Watts with him. I'd be very, very interested to hear his comments after just a cracking win. It's hard to put into words what Canorama was able to do after having to go to the trials on Sunday. Here he is again at trackside.
Yes, indeed. I heard your comments there. Sorry about that. A little technical hitch, but Graham Watts does join us. And Graham, I think you've got the points for the most courageous drive of the series so far. It was either go for broke or go home.
You're probably right, Adam. You know, I just throw a bit of caution to win, and but tactically, I figured that the fella stuck 3 wide was going to give ground, and they're all going to get underneath him, and I was about 15 line to get underneath him, so I was going to be well down the back straight to get a clear run, and then I'm going to have to come wide. So I just figured I'd get in the action, and he gave ground a bit earlier than I was hoping to, and I thought I'd better get round him before Lance gets out, you know. So it paid off.
Remarkable performance from this horse. I mean, you must be so proud of him. I'm told he had his first race start in May of last year. He's raced 14 times. He's won an Inter-Dominion heat in courageous fashion, and he's final bound.
Well, exactly. You know, it's hard to believe that he's here after his lifetime span of racing. But, you know, you've seen him before, and I think the raw talent's always been there. And, you know, I probably haven't wanted to drive him the way I did today. I've been probably putting that off, you know. I always believed he'd stand up for me, but he was always a headstrong sort of fella as a young horse, and he had a lot to learn, and I've always tried to balance him up and try and make him into a racehorse. And he's still learning, you know. There's some tricks on this track that he doesn't do at Harold Park, so, you know, he's still learning the ropes. But I think it says a lot for the horse that he can come to an Inter-Dominion carnival having 12 runs under his belt, you know.
It certainly does. Stay with us, Graham. We might go and have a look at the horses getting ready for this race, but just a terrific boost to you and your family. I mean, we don't need to go through the whole family situation, but it's been one hell of a tough 12 months for you and your mum and dad.
Oh, well, yeah, they were here for the nugget, and that's basically why we nominated him for this series. I thought it a good blooding ground, you know, if nothing else for next year. But they're here for a holiday, and they're here to watch him, and we bred him, and all the joys that go along with that, and he stood up for us. So.
I know your dad's health hasn't going to be great, but hasn't been great, but I reckon he would have raced Carl Lewis. He was that excited afterwards. The adrenaline was surging through the old boy.
Yeah, well, he had a birthday on Sunday, so it's a late present, but a good one, or at least, you know. So.
A job well done. Well done to you, everybody involved with the horse, and good luck from here on in the rest of the series.
Thanks very much, Adam.
Good on you. Graham Watts joining us there, and Sam, obviously running a little bit late for this heat. We thank Graham very much, and all of the trainers and drivers for coming out of their way to visit us tonight and talk pre and post race. How do you see this final heat tonight?
Adam, I summed it up pretty similarly to you. I didn't end up with Mr. DG on top. I had double identity, but in so much as your comments that you suggested that the horse was short enough, and I certainly agree with you. Lombo Lafifi's speed from barrier 7 in the McInerney Ford was brilliant. I know she has been crossed twice from barrier 1 in her 2 races since, but obviously drawn a little bit wider at Gloucester Park is a help. It certainly seems to be a help for her, and she is the obvious danger as far as double identity is concerned. If he does hold the lead, I think he'll win. I have to be truthful and say that I wouldn't be diving into $1.90, so do with that what you will. I guess the one thing in Lombo Lafifi's favour, given the Tucanarama experience, is that the trial between runs doesn't seem to be a problem.
No, that's very true, and with all respect to Darren Kerr, Chris Elford probably knows this mare better than anybody else. He's won a stack of feature races on her, and most notably for Chris Elford, she always showed blazing gate speed. So I think she'll be a big factor at the start of this race. One we haven't spoken about is Country Ways. So good on night 1, and we've seen Brian Hancock's horses turn up on night 2, and all of them run very, very well. He's got an awful draw, a lack of gate speed, but if he could somehow get the right toe into the race, he's good enough to cause an upset.
Yes, Adam, thank you for that. We'll speak to you one final time after this final heat for tonight, the last race for coverage on Sky. Brian Hancock at this current stage has 2 horses in the top 12 as far as the points are concerned, Peggy Dale and Selby Bromack, and I would not have any hesitation in labelling Country Ways as his best runner in this year's Inter Dominion. But let's find out more. John Hunt, trackside.
If it was WA's night on opening night, it's certainly been New South Wales tonight, and the Grand Circuit champ could give them a clean sweep after the magnificent wins of Joe Fess and Tucanarama, but he's been beaten for speed. Double Identity out very quickly. Ivory Trader crosses him and goes to an early lead. Now Double Identity will drive up onto his back, and Mr. DG's been trapped out wide about midfield at the end of a couple of hundred. Ivory Trader in front, dashing forward out wide was Lombo Lafifi, and he took the opportunity there, Prentice, to come off the inside with Double Identity. Lombo Lafifi reacted violently. She broke. She's drifted back to the tail of the field. Double Identity races to the lead. Ivory Trader second, about 2.5 lengths to Golden Resonator. Torpedo works forward to 4th, and Digger of Fortune drops to the inside of A Day's Pay. The Kiwi Mr. DG still out on a limb for the moment, followed after a length by Meggie Deer, who's railing up on the inside of the 4-year-old New Zealander Napoleon. A length and a half to the Taswegian Kijo Ree. After a length and a half came Country Ways back to second last, and Lombo Lafifi. Gee, she's had no luck in the series. She got back to the tail of the field now. Lead time 36.6. That's nearly a track record lead time. I think it's 36.5. Double Identity by a length and a half. Ivory Trader is second. Mr. DG moving up to the leader's wheel. A length away then Torpedoes grabbed the 1-1. On the inside is Golden Resonator. A Day's Pay comes 3 deep. Digger of Fortune comes off the inside there, and A Day's Pay being tracked up now by Napoleon, getting into the 3 wide line. It'll be followed forward by Country Ways. Meggie Deer slips up on the paint, then Kijo Rian getting back to last. Lombo Lafifi at the bell. 31.4 and 31.4, so they're backed off a bit. The half in 62.8, and Double Identity, the reigning Grand Circuit champ and Grand Circuit leader, with just the enders to go, takes them to the far side, travelling well for Prentice. He's looking good. A length away, Mr. DG will need to be magnificent staying performance if he gets over him. Ivory Trader is running third, followed out wide by A Day's Pay. Going through in the middle, Torpedo. Golden Resonator the inside, and then Napoleon. He'll have to come 4 deep, and he does so now, and then Meggie Deer. Country Ways around them from Digger of Fortune, Lombo Lafifi and Kijo Reed. 28.9 that quarter. The leader Double Identity only about a half length on Mr. DG. He won't go away. 2.5 lengths to Ivory Trader, and then Torpedo and running on Napoleon. Mr. DG levelling up with Double Identity. Some run this, the Kiwi. Mr. DG takes the lead. What a magnificent effort to score about a neck on Double Identity. Third off, thundering home wide out. Countryways might have got up for the minor end of the money. Ivory Traders there with Torpedo, and through the middle was Napoleon. And then Lombo La Fifi, crying tragedy what's happened to her in 2 heats. Meggie Deal was next, a Long Gap, Golden Resonator. And then Digger of Fortune, Key J Way, run of the last to finish with a day's pay. He's run the last quarter in 27.6. The last half in 56.5. 56.5 and 27.6. He's done it 3 deep for a lot of the first circuit and then into the breeze outside the Grand Circuit champion, and he's been too good. This is a great horse, Mr. DG. He is just getting better and better every time he sets foot on the racetrack, it seems to me. Number 9, Mr. DG, trained by Timothy Butt, driven by Anthony. Ant's back in the sulky tonight, and he has been magnificent in Downing Double Identity. Both certainties for the final now. Double Identity trained by Harry Martin, driven by Kim Prentice. He made that move early to come off the inside, and that was the end of Lombo La Fifi. And dashed to the front with Double Identity, but it hasn't been able to hold out Mr. DG. Number 8 has got third. Country Ways, trained by Brian Hancock, driven by Blake Fitzpatrick. Hancock's horses have been as consistent as the day is long in this series, running their thirds and fourths and fifths. And there's another good run from Country Ways ahead of 5, Ivory Trader, trained by Ross Oliveri, driven by Chris Lewis. Number 11 is 5th, Napoleon. So he's earned good points again, trained by Barry Purdon, driven by Scott Phelan. The gross time, 236.15. The last mile, 159.5. And the winner's mile rate is 157.5. And while that's the slowest time so far, it's still a great time with the closing sectionals, 56.5, 27.6. Blistering lead time. They came up for air the next half and then finished it off in great style. And Mr. DJ has just simply outsprinted Double Identity in a very powerful display. And it is difficult to say who was the most impressive of the heat winners tonight. Joe Fess has broken the track record. Takanarama has paddled around in the river. He was that wide a lot of that race and still won. 4-year-old having what was this, his 14th start in a race tonight. And then Mr. DG, who's breezed in both heats and just been far too strong in the run to the line.
Okay, we will try and link into this trackside interview that is about to take place. The quartet on 9, 1, 8 and 5 has paid $1,029.30. What a run, Country Ways. What a run, the winner. The double on 5 and 7, $62, and the quadrella 3, 4, 5 and 7, $2,197.10. Just finishing off the details for Western Australia / Super Tab. The running double, I'm just waiting to get Spicy Hot, of course, won the previous race, 6. Just need to get you the information here. It's just not appearing on my screen right now. There it is. The running double, 3 into 9, was $50. Now on the New South Wales tote, the daily double on 3 and 9 paid $67.60. And I'll give you the Unitab details very quickly before we go trackside. Daily double, $43. I'll give you the rest of the information after this interview because I would like to bring that to you if we can. Sticking with the Unitab details. No, I'll come back for that with that afterwards. Here we go trackside with Matt Babbage and Anthony Butt.
This guy's come through with flying colours.
Yeah, he has, yeah. He's had to do it tough and took a while to get round to the death, but after that they weren't going too hard, so he got a bit of a breather, but he picked the other horse up well on the straight.
Yeah, he seemed to relax very nicely throughout the run.
Yeah, he did. He's racing really well and his manners are getting perfect now, so he's, making him easy to drive.
He's not that big in stature, but gee, he's got a fantastic big motor inside him.
Yeah, I think he gets that from his mother.
Yeah, he's had it all over the leader, Double Identity, right to Rash. Didn't let him get too far out of your sights. You applied the pressure on the home turn. He just did the rest from there, it seemed.
Yeah, I thought Double Identity might beat us, when he led, but, the lead time was very quick, so it obviously just took a bit out of him at the finish. But, yeah, so 2 good horses.
Yeah, how did he feel in the run tonight? After 2 runs now, he's going into the third night. He should sharpen up again for the third night.
Yeah, I think so. He hadn't had too hard a race, and, didn't have to turn the whip tonight, so he's probably still a little bit left, so I think he'll get through the series well.
Yeah, how do you find the track driving here yourself?
Oh, it's a bit little to what we used to, but as long as you're winning, you don't care.
Absolutely. Good luck for the third round of heats, and Anthony, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Anthony Butwood takes out a sensational effort. Mr. DG takes out heat number 7 of the Ross North Inter-Dominion Series.
He will be the big mover in markets after that, no question about it. What a wonderful performance. His mum, unable to win an Inter-Dominion championship, she contested 4 of them. She was a super performer, won numerous heats throughout her illustrious career, on top of a couple of Hunter Cups. Just clearing up the dividends for that heat. Mr. DG was fantastic, but Country Ways was eye-catching. You have Anthony Butt with you right now, the driver of the winner, Mr. DG.
Certainly do. I mean, how do you split those 3 heat-winning performances tonight? Can I be maybe a tad controversial while I'm on WA soil and say that Mr. DG may in fact have grabbed at least equal favouritism for the final? He was extraordinary tonight.
Yeah, he went good at him. Took a while to get to the death and, a whole lap, and they had burned early, the other horses, and he sort of kept out of that a little, but it was still a good run.
You didn't keep out of it too much. You were 3 wide in 36.6. The clockers here say that that's virtually as quick as they've ever gone. You were a sitting shot. Double Identity was able to get the pegs. He's a much better horse on the pegs. Coming to the turn, I thought Double Identity's had the easier run. He should fight you off. But you sort of changed up gears quickly?
He did, yeah. Around the bend, he started to feel really good. And, once we straightened, he got balance. He just picked him up easy. And, he won with a little bit in hand too, actually.
I think, Anthony, the difference we've seen in the horse over the last month or so has been an improvement speed-wise.
Yeah, well, he's just getting a great little horse. His manners are getting good, and, he can work, he can sprint, and, he's getting nearly the perfect racehorse. So, he can't do much more than he's doing, really.
You guys were thrilled with him, obviously. That's actually the first time you've driven him since the Hunter Cup. Johnny Caldo looked after him last week for you. But how did he feel compared to the Hunter Cup? Does he feel as though he's gone on and actually improved?
I think so. He's, each race, week by week, he's got better and better. The last 3 months since we've had him, and yeah, he felt great tonight. Tim knew he was a little bit short the first night, and it was good that John drove him great and gave him an easy run, and, he won with a lot in hand that night, so didn't take too much out of him. So, we think he'll continue to get better through the series.
Well, you're a guy who follows the form closely from New Zealand. You know how hard it is to beat Double Identity in front. That's a telling blow to do that tonight. Yeah,
I was wrapped, during the run when he was getting those easy quarters. I thought I'm going to be happy to run second here, but to pick him up was a great effort, I thought.
Some good performances earlier on, though. Joe Fest beating the Falcon Strike. Their runs were probably on par. Maybe the Falcon Strike went at least as good as Joe Fest. And Takanarama, a horse, well, I think you saw him at the Breeders' Crown final, but that was his 14th start tonight. Can you believe that?
Yeah, great run. He made a run from a long way out and was wide, and no, great effort for a young horse. And, he's going to be an exciting horse in the future.
How did you assess the Falcon Strike's defeat?
Well, I thought he went pretty good, really. Like Joe Fest's a great horse. He's an old campaigner and he's been there and done that. And when he finds the front, he's awfully hard to beat. And, Darren drove him aggressively and they reeled off a great last mile. So, any horse would have beaten Joe Fest tonight.
Am I crazy or should you be equal favourite for the final?
Oh, I think no, and I don't care, really. As long as we keep getting through without any problems and front up, fitting well the final night.
I'll put it into horseman's terms. Would you swap him for any other horse?
No, I wouldn't, but, obviously the barrier draw is going to play a huge part in the final, on a little track like this. So, if he draws 9 like he did tonight, he's probably out of play, but, good barrier would be nice.
Oh, it's good to see you didn't lose it in the couple of weeks on the sidelines. Go out and enjoy, Anthony.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
There he is, Anthony Butt, joining us, Sam, and just another of the happy connections that have been kind enough to join us after their winning performances, or in the case of Lance Justice,